This semester in my practicum placement, I worked with 25 students in a 4th grade classroom at Octorara Elementary School. I learned so much from observing as well as teaching in this classroom. Firstly, I learned the importance of encouraging students to read just the right books that are on their independent reading level. My cooperating teacher did a great job of this by setting up a classroom library that was divided by genre and student reading level. I directly saw how this motivated students to read. It was neat to see the students spend their free time finding books that were of interest to them that they could read by themselves. Although it is important that students know their own reading level to find just right books to read, it is equally important for them to realize that this reading level does not define them as a reader. They should be taught that their reading level can change the more that they practice and the more that they read. Secondly, I learned how to use anchor charts correctly. My cooperating teacher absolutely loved the use of anchor charts and had them hanging up all around her classroom. As I began to use and create anchor charts of my own, I realized how important it is to use the anchor chart only as a reference when teaching. Students need elaboration and further explanation of the concept that is original and engaging. It is more engaging for students to hear a teacher's perspective as a reader, and this should drive instruction. Thirdly, I learned that small group instruction during independent practice after a lesson is extremely important to support struggling readers. I realized that this was valuable time I had to focus on making sure that these students understood the concept. Not only did doing this differentiate instruction, but I really enjoyed being able to teach these students on an individual level, and I know that their reading abilities benefited from it as well. Lastly, I realized how effective the gradual release of responsibility model is when teaching reading skills and strategies. It required 3 simple steps: model the strategy, implement guided practice of the strategy, and implement independent practice of the strategy. The planning, as well as the application of it, was extremely effective and easy to use. I wound up using it to teach all 4 of my lessons and directly saw how my students benefited from its structure. The explicitness of the approach was useful for all types of learners, while also scaffolding all students' learning at the same time. It has been extremely rewarding to watch my 4th graders grow as readers over the last 15 weeks. I have loved seeing their curiosity to learn, and I am truly grateful for their openness to accept me as a teacher in their classroom. In conclusion, this opportunity has allowed me to learn so much and made me realize that I needed these students to teach me just as much as they needed me to teach them. I taught them how to read, but they taught me how to become a better teacher. I can't wait to apply all that I've learned from this experience to my future teaching experiences to help benefit the reading of my students to come.